Hello, epic viewers from on the multiverse. Prepare to indulge in experiencing sheer bliss, because today another riveting, captivating, stellar unboxing video is about to be brought to fruition. What items will I be unboxing? What items will I be opening? Without further delay, without further procrastination, allow me to elicit the box. What items are encompassed inside this bulky, hefty, tangible, nifty box? Let's find out. I'm going to demystify that answer to that inquiry right here, right now. So bear with me. It'll only take me billions of picoseconds to extract the items from the box and subsequently flaunt them in front of the camera for you to feast your glorious eyes on. Here we go. The unboxing process is about to commence. The unboxing process is officially underway. By the way, I would like to briefly notify you that this is the third part of my unboxing of the massive Family Guy action figure lot. These action figures were churned out by Mezco amid the early 2000s. Are they meritorious? Do I recommend and advocate buying them? That remains to be seen. So off the get-go, we have this particular character who may be a zombie of various Family Guy characters. This guy, known by the moniker of Clevemire. Apparently he's protruding out of this character's torso. Who is this character, by the way? I used to know his name. Is it Carl? No. I believe he has his own television series. I'm trying to recollect his name. I haven't seen Family Guy in years. I need to stop dwelling on trivial nonsense, but maybe he's supposed to be an amalgamation of two Family Guy characters that have become zombified. Who knows? Who knows? Who cares? It's quite an intriguing, novel, robust character. He has close to 10 points of articulation. He can rotate his heads. He can ascend and descend his arms. And he can rotate his waist. So, overall, I believe he has, let me just briefly count, at least 7 points of articulation. That seems to be right. He lacks pecos embedded in the bottom of his feet. He lacks a diaphragm joint. He lacks finger joint articulation. I do love his aesthetics. I love his intricacies. I love his paint applications. I love his hues. I love his deco. I love his textures. I love his shadings. His back is marred with scratches that impair his appearance. Nonetheless, he's still a meritorious figurine if you're an avid devout Family Guy fan. Now here's the quintessential figurine within the lot. Here's the Death's figurine. His appearance emulates Death from the Family Guy series. Now he's disparate from the 1970s variant of Death. I could compare and contrast them. Let me just draw forth this version of Death. This one has an afro. This one's not adorned with an afro. Both of their faces are obscured by their hoods. Their hoods are their face. Well, I guess you could say darkness of their face. They're supposed to have skeleton faces, but actually, I retract my previous statement. Perhaps they're devoid of faces. Or maybe the hoods are supposed to depict their faces. Who knows? Who cares? Now, as I notified you in my previous video, which was the first part of the massive Family Guy action figure lot, if you can recollect, this one is marred with a scratch inside his hood. Unfortunately, it impairs his appearance. Nonetheless, this one is tainted with scratches as well throughout the body. It is detrimental. It is a calamity, in my humble, subjective opinion. I want my action figures to be in near mint and pristine condition, but from the front, at least he's in near mint condition. From the back, though, is another story. The back is the polar opposite of the front. From a condition aspect, he sees these scratches. They agitate me. They infuriate me. They invoke my rage. But I need to stop dwelling on trivial nonsense and hone in on the positive aspects of these figurines. Next, we have a hat that one of the action figures can equip. I'm not sure who this belongs to. I'm not sure whose corresponding accessory this hat is. Maybe it's Chris Griffin's hat, who knows? Or Peter Griffin's hat. Alrighty, we have some unusual version or unusual variant of Peter Griffin. His appendages have been displaced by objects. He's marred with scratches that impair his appearance. He doesn't have any... Actually, he does have scuffs. Am I discontent with his lot? I am thus far. The action figures that I hoped to be in near mint condition turned out to be marred with scratches. In retrospect, I probably would have forgot the opportunity to bid on the lot had I known their full conditions at the get-go. Here's Brian Griffin, adorned with police attire. He has a baton that he can wield. He has 3 points of articulation. He can rotate his legs to some extent. He lacks an ankle pivot. He lacks an ab crunch. He can rotate his waist. Let me render these figures more transparent by moving them closer to the camera. I just want you to see these figurines of the totality. So I apologize if they've been too far away from the camera lens, but I'm trying to rectify the error and make amends with my viewers, so just bear with me. I just want to showcase them up close, and that way if they do get ravaged in the future, then at least I know how they looked amid me unboxing them. Alrighty, let's move on. I'm gratified that this figurine is in near mint condition. Actually, I revoked my previous statement. His wardrobe is marred with scratches. He's supposed to be an action figure of God from the Family Guy series. Is he robust? Is he intricate? God is probably far more robust than any hunk of plastic. He's not an abysmal figurine by any means. To my dismay, he only has 4 points of articulation. His head is preposed. Actually, he has 7 points of articulation. He can rotate his forearms. He can ascend and descend his arms. He cannot rotate his biceps. He lacks ability to swivel his head. His head is not relegated to a disjoint. He can rotate his feet. His ankles have rotation, as you can unequivocally see. I don't want to tamper with the joints too much. I don't want to fiddle with them. I don't want to compromise the integrity of the joints, so I'll desist from further playing with my figurines. What else do we have? I'm just seeing how many more figurines we have left. We have a Brian Griffin figurine adorned with the banana mascot attire. It cannot be removed. He seems to have a maraca. He lacks peg holes embedded in the bottom of his feet. His fingers lack articulation. Nonetheless, he can still swivel his wrists. He could ascend and descend his arms. He cannot rotate his head. Surprisingly enough, you may be flabbergasted to know that this figurine is probably in near pristine condition, in stark contrast to the other figurines part of the lot. This figurine is probably nearly unscathed and is probably in the best condition out of all the figurines within the lot. I would make the arbitrary assumption and venture to guess that he doesn't have any major dings or dents, so I'm a bit gratified and a bit content and buoyant in this regard. At least one of the figurines is not completely impaired and marred with scratches, dings, and dents. So Not bad. Too bad all the figurines couldn't be like that. It's a real shame, it's a real pity, but woe is me, right? But maybe I should stop honing in on the scratches and instead focus and concentrate on the positive aspects of these figurines. I mean, they're amazing as a totality if you relish the Family Guy series. However, if you deem the Family Guy series to be mediocre, if you deem the Family Guy series to not be very appealing, if you deem it to be abysmal, then these figurines will likely not appease you. Nonetheless, they do appease me. I just would have preferred if they weren't impaired by their appearances that are inundated with scratches, scuffs, and potentially dents that further impair their appearances. I would have preferred if they were not inundated with scratches, but it is what it is. Their bodies are saturated with scratches. I can't do anything to rectify the situation unless I paint over them, and I'll likely desist from doing that. Maybe one day I'll paint over my action figures, but at the moment I'm not going to displace their scratches with paint. I don't like the idea of having to paint and put in more work into the collection than need be. I don't need my time to be consumed painting action figures when I can be generating revenue. I could be spawning more stupendous videos. I could showcase my escapades and my endeavors appertaining to collecting action figures. I could render my purchases from eBay transparent. I don't need to spend my time painting action figures, although I can in future videos. Maybe I could do tutorials for how to paint action figures if I can assimilate knowledge in that regard. But in that domain I lack ample knowledge within. I guess you could say I lack ample knowledge in that context, or in that regard, or in that realm, or in that facet, because I've never strived to paint action figures. I've always made an earnest attempt to procure action figures that are in excellent condition, that are practically unscathed, but you can't always discern the condition from zoomed out photos. You really need zoomed in photos that are enlarged to pinpoint their flaws and their defects and their shortcomings. But if the figurines are zoomed out in the photos, you can't pinpoint their scratches or scuffs or dings or dents. But here are some of them once again. So out of the figurines I just unboxed, my favorite figurines are the God figurine and the Death figurine. I'm unsure where I put the Death figurine. These figurines are dispersed throughout my room. I think he fell on the floor. He's relegated to the floor. Can he be salvaged? We'll find out. Maybe I'll paint over their scratches in the pending future, but it won't transpire in the imminent future. I'll desist from doing so until I've unboxed most of my figurines. I don't need them to be confined to the parameters of a box. I don't need them to be consigned to cardboard. I need to liberate them. I need to flaunt them on my shelves. So here they are once again. Stay tuned for my upcoming videos. I'm going to unbox a remainder of the lot in an upcoming video. I need to take a break for now. I'm dehydrated, I'm famished, I'm weary, I'm lethargic, I'm debilitated, I'm on the cusp of passing out. I haven't eaten anything or drank anything in over 12 hours now. So it's either been 11 or 12 hours. I believe it's been closer to 12 hours. But once I take a break, I'll commence the fourth part of my unboxing of the massive Family Guy action figure lot. So Death Mezco deserves our accolades. In certain facets they do, but in other facets they don't. Their appearances emulate the appearances of Family Guy characters, but they're just lackluster articulation wise. So that's all I can say. I hope that you found this video to be intriguing and enthralling. Have a wonderful marvelous day. Goodbye.